Welcome to War Thunder Week News. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day. It's DS Player here. War Thunder News has been slightly boring this week, but here's the gist. Last week, they announced the 14th installment of It's Fixed, along with the vehicles for the Battle Pass. For interesting stuff that they mentioned in It's Fixed number 14, they removed the ability for that hit marker aiming thing for arcade when aiming at an enemy through smoke. A great addition for those that actually play that game mode. They finally allowed light vehicles to scout through the commander site, which something in my opinion should have been added when commander sites were added. It's been, 2 months since Red Skies dropped? Hull aiming was once again changed, but this time they removed the ability of hull aiming when you had no engine, which should have not existed in the first place. They changed the performance of hull aiming when you had bad ping, and they fixed when you were trying to use hull aiming through the commander sites. They also made it where you can't damage your friendly's torpedoes in naval battles, not like you would get a game in those game modes anyway. Now, what they mentioned in that full change log was that they increased the mobility of the EBR and the Roy Cat by changing the gear ratios, and they finally gave back the F1 its ballistic computer. Some pretty good quality of life changes there. Now moving on to Battle Pass Season 4, which is this time nicknamed Fearless Waitija. It's going to run from July 28th to October 27th, which is 2 weeks longer for a total of 91 days. Along with the increase in length, they also changed the amount of daily login stage timing things, meaning that you log in for 20 days straight before it increases in the amount of daily points. There's also 2 less season challenges now, with 14 instead of 16. This means 3 challenges can be found in the season's prizes, and there will be 2 fewer regular ones. Now let's move on to the vehicles that you can get. For terms of aircraft, we can get the A6 M6C. It appears to have the same armament as the A6 M5A in terms of machine gun and cannons, but also the same amount of bomb and rockets loadout presets. What's new for the A6 M6C is that it will get a new Akajima's Sakai 31 engine with a water methanol injected system, which allows for extended periods of web without overheating. Only a couple prototypes were completed by the end of war, and it has the same armor as the A6 M5A. And it's gonna be sitting at the 4.7 BR, which the A6 M5 sits at. It's gonna have an extremely similar playstyle and will be a great addition for the Japanese 4.7 lineup. Up next, we have the lower tier tank reward, which is the SDKFC 251-22. It's basically a Pak Puma gun and mallet mounting the 75mm Pak 40-3 L46 mounted on top of the iconic SDKFC 251 half-track chassis. I expect it to have similar handling to the SDKFC 251-10 and SDKFC 251-21 that we have in-game already. It's going to sit at the 3.3 BR range, and it's going to fill the spot vacated by the Pak Puma after it got raised up to 4.0. This does mean that Germany's 3.3 lineup is once again getting reinforced. I think this half-track is going to be pretty interesting, but it's going to demolish people with its pretty strong gun. Next up, for the higher tier tank reward, we have the EBR, but this time it's from 1963, and it mounts a 90mm gun and a turret similar to the AMX-13 FL11, but it fires HEAT-FS with 320mm ping on top of the venerable EBR chassis. It's going to sit at a BR of 7.0, and it should fare pretty well at that BR, considering it has a high on-road mobility along with the high pen. I think it's going to be another pesky EBR for you guys to deal with, but it's going to be at 7.0 this time. For the naval war, we have another Omaha class light destroyer, the USS Detroit CL-8. Commissioned in 1923, it was the 4th of the Omaha class to be commissioned, and was actually moored at Pearl Harbor during the attack on December 7th, 1941. She served in the Pacific and survived the war and was scrapped in January of 1946. She's going to be very similar playstyles to USS Raleigh and USS Trenton that we have in game already, with the important distinguishing features of her being her extensive armament of 20mm anti-air guns, which she has more than the rest of her class. She also has 7 3-inch Mark 10 guns compared to the rest of her class. It's going to sit at a 5.0 BR range and will be an extensive complement to that lineup. And that's what happened this and last week in War Thunder news. We have another week or so until we see the dev blocks for Operation Summer, and maybe a week or 2 after that for the dev logs of the next patch. Thank you a whole lot for watching this video. If you guys have any comments, questions, or concerns, feel free to leave them in the comments below or talk about it in the Discord linked in the description. I'm starting to do this after I'm stepping up to the plate, so please be patient. I also have no idea if I'm gonna stream on Saturdays, like what 200 is. In bonus news, does anyone know how to stop this recording?